How would you like to make orange chicken and rice today with me? Because that's what we're gonna do. It's the last of our $5 series. Thanks for joining me here today at Annie's Smoking Pot. I, of course, am Annie, and this is my tiny kitchen. Big flavors, though. Orange chicken is a favorite one in my house. We're cooking up the sauce first. You want to cook the sauce on a low heat because otherwise you're going to burn because there's a lot of sugars in this sauce. First thing we've got, we're going to put some orange juice in there and some rice vinegar. As always, if you've been here before, you know the description below will have the full recipe for you, including the cost breakdown on how much this cost. We've also got some soy sauce, some red pepper flakes, and some sugar. We're not done yet. Oh no. We've also got some garlic paste and a little ginger paste. And we're going to whisk it up. We want to get it heated up to a boil because then we're going to add a little bit of a slurry. And this is what that is. Little cornstarch and a little water just mixed together in a bowl. That's gonna help thicken up that orange glaze. When it starts to boil, we're gonna add the slurry. Wow, that smells really good. I don't know why I sound so shocked. Just like that, you see that? Let's go ahead and add our slurry. Now we're just gonna let it boil until it thickens up. You want it to boil, but not like rolling boil, just a nice, soft, simple boil. That looks fantastic. We're gonna go ahead and take that off the heat and add a little orange zest. And you want to do it to where you're just taking like the outer orange. Don't go down too much into the meat because otherwise you'll get a little bit of bitterness in there. There we go. Tiny home living, gotta switch things up. Little switcheroo. This recipe that we're doing for the chicken is a take on my finger chicken, which right there. And then the link will be at the end of the video, so you can check that one out. I'm using the same batter that I used in that recipe because it is absolutely fantastic. Now remember, as always with chicken, you wanna cut it up for the person who's going to be eating it. So we're gonna cut this up into nice bite-sized pieces. But as you can see, that's a pretty thick breast. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it in half first. Because if you've cooked chicken before, you know that when it starts to cook, the piece might start off small, but it tends to grow when you cook it. Watch your fingers. Oh gosh, that glaze smells so good. I wish you could smell it. There we go. Nice bite-size little pieces, just like that. Now we got to get our dredge ready. We're doing a dry dredge, wet dredge combination. I'm going to add a little bit of orange zest to this as well. This is just equal parts of flour and cornstarch. And this is just going to add another level of orange flavor to the orange chicken. You don't want to add too much because you don't want it to burn when it cooks. Just a little bit to add a little bit of freshness, just like that. And then we're going to mix this up. You want to make sure that your cornstarch and your flour get mixed in really well. That is so easy. Your chicken is going to go into that dredge right now. We're just going to coat the pieces up really well and then move them to the tray to turn this into a wet dredge. That's what you want right there. Just a nice light coating. And don't worry about the clumps of orange zest that you see sticking into my sieve because when we turn this into a wet dredge, I'll make sure and dump them back in there. Fish around in there to make sure you get them all out. Now let's create our wet dredge. All we're doing is adding water into this and add it slow. You don't want it like a watery paste or like a soup, but you don't want it really thick like a waffle batter. You almost want it more like a pancake batter. You want to make sure and break it up really well too because you don't want big clumps of batter. I want to get rid of all those lumps and bumps. Oh, it smells wonderful with that orange zest in there. That's what you want, is just almost a pancake batter. My wok doesn't get enough playtime, so I'm opting to do it, and we're doing a shallow fry. You want it hot, but not so hot that it's gonna burn before it has a chance to cook that chicken through. It is going to take maybe 4 minutes to cook this chicken. The chicken pieces are not that big. It is not gonna take long at all. And in goes our chicken. You wanna pour it slowly so that it doesn't splatter all over. And I think I'm gonna cook this in 2 batches because we have a lot of chicken here. So just kind of break that that up into 2 equal batches. Dredge them really well. The fork is a great tool for when I take it out of here, because if you use a spoon, you're going to pick up extra batter. By using the fork, the extra batter just kind of runs through the tines, so you don't get too much batter on the chicken. And those are well coated, and I think our oil is good. Using the fork just to pick up a few at a time, the extra batter will drip out the bottom. And try to break them apart when you drop them in there. Otherwise, you'll just end up with big old clumps of chicken. Don't overcrowd, so if this has to go in 3 batches, 4 batches, it's okay. When they get golden brown on one side, you're just gonna flip them over and let them keep going. And just kind of keep unsticking them when they get a little too close for comfort. That first batch is done. This is what you're looking for as far as the color goes. Nice golden brown. Just like that. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and cook up the rest of this chicken, and then I'll meet you back here and we'll keep going together. This is what it looks like when it's cooked. But we've still got that beautiful, beautiful glaze to add to it. And we're just gonna add that in. Nice slow drizzle to coat each piece. Oh my gosh, that smells so good. Essentially, all we're doing right now is by adding that glaze in there, I just want to warm it back up because it has been sitting on the side for a little bit, so it's not quite hot. So I just want to warm it through. So while that's warming up, why don't you go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. Hit the thumbs up if you've liked this video. I hope you've enjoyed the series for September that we put together. All the recipes cost $5 or less. In fact, I think the most expensive one we had came in at $4.99. I promised you the breakdown on this one, and I'll give it to you in just a minute. Let's go ahead and turn off our burner, dish this up, and see how it tastes. I am serving mine over just some plain white rice because I had it in my budget. And what goes better with orange chicken than rice? This is actually probably enough for 3 people. And a little orange zest just to finish it off. Orange chicken, homemade orange chicken. P.F. Chang ain't got nothing on this girl. Before we dig into this delicious dish of food, let me give you that cost breakdown I told you about. The chicken was $3.25 because again, I buy it in bulk, which keeps your costs down. The cornstarch that I used was 48 cents. The OJ came in at 23 cents. The orange zest, that whole orange cost me 50 cents. 50 cents for an entire orange. I'll figure out something else to do with it. And then the rice was about 10 cents. Again, I didn't count each and every grain, but that is enough yammering. $4.56 for this dish, which I am now about to try. Some of the rice, piece of that chicken. Ooh, look at that. Look at that gorgeous glaze on there. Oh, wow. You know what? I am all for P.F. Chang's. I think you can buy it pre-made orange chicken at the grocery store. Never again. It was cheaper to make it myself. Just make it at home. There's enough here for my husband and I both to have dinner and to have leftovers. Nothing left but to say thank you so much for joining me here again at Annie's Smoking Pot. And until next time, bye. Open wide.